boy, Dori.
Oh, girl, Paulo.
I feel like Sunday night and I'm about to watch the spin-off of 21 Jump Street starring the new Johnny Depp, Richard Grieco. Because it's hot in the city, Dori. Hot in the city. There will be no snow in Africa this Christmas. That's a heat wave.
Yes.
That is what they call a heat wave. It's hot out there. Not a good day for my aircon in the studio to start breaking.
No.
I'm definitely going to be testing out my brat.
Right.
My
I
brat.
wish I had worn my headband, my sweatband.
It'll be full of sweat.
It would be. I'd be wringing it out in the bathroom and then putting it back on.
Thank God I put my brat on this morning. Mm-hmm. Imagine the smell in you.
Imagine.
If you feel like sweating, though, sweating to the oldies, he talks about sweating lovely bevies of blonde beauties. Wherever you're listening to this podcast app, either scroll up or scroll down. Look for our interview with Dr. Phil Joffe of Body Beat.
Yes.
People have been having such great feedback about it. I don't know about you. Definitely we hit our target market. I got to tell you, like, who have we interviewed?
A lot of people.
Thomas Anders of Modern Talking.
Yes.
Gary Kemp of Spandau Ballet.
Katrina of Katrina and the Waves.
Tapau of Tapau.
Yeah.
You know? And many. Hashtag Police Academy. And, people are like, yeah, that's cool. Awesome. People love Thomas Anders, the video. They loved it. Beautiful man. But Body Beat, I got to tell you, people are loving Dr. Phil Joffe, possibly the funniest 80-year-old in the world.
The best 80-year-old in the world.
The best.
That I know of currently.
Definitely. He talks about all sorts of things, sweating blonde babes, scones.
A lot of scone.
More scone talk than I expected.
You know, for many years, my universe existed without scones. And then the last few weeks, they've made a comeback, not just from Dr. Phil Joffe. They've just come back into my universe. It's very weird.
He put them back.
Yeah, he did.
He put them back into our shared universe, Dr. Phil Joffe. Scroll up, scroll down, find it, listen.
Yes.
After you listen to this, of course, this is That 80s Show. Welcome. Dori is here with me. We've established it's warm, hot in the city. Last week, Dori, you interluded in the episode talking about the sexiest bald men.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Just having the conversation. I didn't care for the list.
No, of course not.
No. Because there's a lot of people in there that you don't think of. They're not notoriously bald.
No. Notoriously Bald.
No, because...
Thanks, that's my band name now.
Notoriously Bald. It's mine. Right Said Fred. That's their band name.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No.
Not bald, big guy. Right?
Don't think of him as a notorious baldy.
No. I think of him as notoriously... No one is better at being Dwayne Johnson than Dwayne Johnson. Right?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Not a bald guy.
No.
I don't see him and think bald. I see him and think hat, Kangol hat, and motherfucker. That's what I think of.
I think of the hair that he had in Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
He had very cool hair.
Highest grossing actor of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson.
Huh.
He's been in Star Wars. He's been in all the Marvel movies. Pulp Fiction. Mm-hmm. Go look at it. Highest grossing actor of all time. Snakes on the Plane.
Yep.
Don't need no
Still never seen it.
No. Dori,
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
There are
Motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane.
Yeah.
Gets rid of them.
I heard.
That's Samuel L. Jackson. Who else was in there that you don't think of? Terry Crews, Muscles.
Yeah.
He is bald. Don't think of him as bald.
No, think of him as the funniest guy in White Chicks,
Oh, man.
which I'm rewatching, by the way.
Hey, Latrell. Oh, a movie that wouldn't get made today.
Never.
What? Even though the joke is on so many people. That's equal offensive. That's equal opportunity
my
offense,
goodness.
which I love.
Yeah.
Right? So many people get offended in that. Wouldn't get made today. Mm-mm. So I kind of did some work off the back of that sexiest baldies and went, there wasn't an 80s link. So what I've done for you, Dori, this week, what a treat.
Okay.
A treat for you. I couldn't give you chocolates in the studio.
It's okay, because they've all melted, yes.
They melted.
Yeah.
Toffees didn't melt. And the fucking orange ones didn't melt.
Oh, gross.
They don't melt.
Yeah. They shouldn't exist.
They're like from the metaverse, multiverse. They're just from not Earth. So I did some work for you, and I put together famous 80s Baldies.
I mean, I can think of one right now off the top of my head.
Maybe they're in my list.
I'm sure. If not, there's a problem.
I did a list of 10.
Okay.
0 is bald. I have to have 10. Okay. I thought of 8 because 8 is bald plus body positive.
Okay.
But I went with 10.
Right.
Because I had a crowbar, a few people in there that I wanted to put in. Hello, birds outside. That's what happens.
That's what happens when you have to have the window open.
It's hot in the city. What other 80 songs have heat or hot in the title?
The Heat Is On.
The Heat Is On.
Glenn Fryer.
That was a good one.
Let's see.
I was trying to think. I thought Gloria Estefan did it. The heat is going to get you, but it's the rhythm.
Yeah. But the heat is definitely getting
The heat is definitely. With Dilly. With Dilly, Dori, Dilly, Dias. Back. You thought it was just OMD that got us Dilly. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about famous 80s Baldies. Now, I have to give a disclaimer.
Are they all men? Because I'm guessing not.
I have to give you a disclaimer.
Yes.
Being bald in the 80s wasn't as embraced as being bald was. Probably from the 90s onwards. 80s was hair. Even if you're losing your hair, you had a mullet.
Yeah.
Maurice Gibbs. Right? So hair was a big thing. Shaving your head wasn't on. So a couple of them have subsequently gone bald, very bald, but they were losing their hair in the 80s.
Okay.
So can you give me those? It's a disclaimer.
Okay, I'll give them to you.
Okay.
How many women? Because I can think of one.
Number 10.
Okay.
And I'll show you a picture of number 10 to back it up. Put your glasses on there, Dori. Bruce Willis. Has to be. Now, he wasn't bald in the 80s.
No.
Very receding.
Yeah.
He had the little widow's nest. Definitely a little bit thin in the back. I bet you they spray painted it. Okay. Bruce Willis, number 10. He's subsequently gone on to be very bald.
Yes.
Shame. So sad what's happening with him right now. Do you read the stories?
Yeah.
His daughter was saying, like, just lost. Terrible. Terrible. Don't like hearing that. Bruce Willis. Okay, so Bruce Willis, number 10 in our list of notorious baldies. By the same token, number 9, Al Bundy. Balding.
Okay.
Balding.
Yes.
Okay. Good male pattern baldness going on there, Al Bundy. This one I'm going to cheat my rules.
Yep.
My list, my rules. Mr. T. Predominantly
fair
bald.
enough. Okay.
Predominantly bald.
Absolutely.
Who knows? That wasn't his male pattern. Maybe he just balded everywhere else but the middle.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Mr. T, number 7. We're putting together a list. These are our favorite baldies from the 80s. This one, number 6. Homer Simpson.
No.
No?
Not a real person.
Mr. T's not a real person. Oh, Mr. T is a real person. B.A. Barack is not a real person. So I can't have Homer Simpson. Then it's 9. Okay, then you have to replace.
Well, let's see who you miss out, and then I'll replace. Maybe. Otherwise, I don't mind odd numbers.
Okay,
I have
fine.
no problem with odd numbers.
Sean Connery's next.
Okay.
Again.
Not really 80s.
No, well, here's a picture of him in 1980.
Very bald.
Very bald. I found a picture of him in 1980.
Fair enough.
Okay? That
Not
worked.
so much an 80s icon, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he did some stuff in the 80s.
No, he
But
did
he's
lots.
definitely more known for
60s and 70s.
Yeah.
He was in that, was it, what, in the 80s where he had that jumpsuit on. He had that red jumpsuit. He was in a sci-fi space movie.
Okay.
He was in Highlander in the 80s.
True.
Yes, don't at me. He was in Highlander. He was in Untouchables in the 80s.
Okay.
Indiana Jones.
Okay. Fine.
He was an elder statesman. Either way, bald as a coot. Never seen a coot. Are they bald?
I don't know what a coot is.
It's a bird, I think.
Oh, is it?
I think a coot's a bird. Patrick Stewart.
Ah.
Okay, here is Patrick Stewart in Star Trek, The Next Generation. Remember? Here's Captain Vincent Picard.
Yes.
Showing you.
That wasn't 80s, though.
Was 80s, 1989.
Really?
1989. No, it's actually 1987.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thought it was 90s.
1987. Huh. I did my research.
See, I stopped watching Star Trek once the whole Mr. Spock and other guy, Denny Crane.
Oh, yes.
Can't think
So
of his
he
name.
was the original captain.
Yes, the
Yeah, right,
original,
the original captain.
original guy.
Okay, so that is Patrick Stewart. Very 70s, but his TV show, made for TV movies, were constantly on reruns in the 80s. So I'll take him, Telly Savalas.
Oh, yes.
Who loves you, baby? Who loves you, baby? If you don't remember Telly Savalas, Kojak.
With his lollipop.
Detective, lollipop, bald head.
Definitely. I accept.
Oh, Greek skin, Greek macho. Shit, man. I think we're all birthed from his loins. Hey, don't you think he's macho? Telly Savalas, Kojak?
Okay, no.
Okay.
But it's fine.
Okay. I'm on my own, yeah?
Yes.
Because this hairstyle was adopted in 1987, Sinead O'Connor.
Right, there we go.
There we go. Notoriously shaved her head in 1987 when she was 20 years old in protest because she said she didn't want her female image commercialized for record sales.
And yet, she started a trend.
She did that in 1987. 20. That's the balls on her, hey? That's big old balls. Can I say that? I don't know.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Sinead O'Connor. This was a tough one, but once you see my number one, you're going to understand why famous balds of the 80s. Now, you can at me, but this is from 1989, even though his hairstyle was more in the 90s. Michael Jordan appeared bald for the first time in 1989.
Okay.
That's his card. That's a rookie card that says 1989-1990 season. So he appears bald for the first time in 1989. Continues. Had hair for a lot of the 80s. I'll put him in. Number one, my favorite baldie of the 80s. Grace Jones.
You haven't even got the one I thought you were going to have.
Well, you can replace it. Okay.
I am going to replace.
We're going to kick out Homer Simpson. Dori wants to replace. I'll tell you why Grace Jones, and then we can decide who is worthier. Who is your bald replacement for Homer Simpson?
Are you kidding? How could you have forgotten Phil Collins?
He wasn't bald in the 80s, losing his hair. I understand Bruce Willis and Al Bundy. I feel these are better.
Come on.
I feel these are better.
The cover of one of those famous is his bald head.
Yeah, but he was self-inflicted bald because he used Susudio line, the hair gel. And it's his hair for you used too much Susudio line, your hair's going to fall out. Susudio line. It's the same, isn't it? Oh, there's a product placement. No. Okay. I'll tell you why Grace Jones.
Why Grace Jones?
Okay, Grace Jones had a multitude of hairstyles in the 80s,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Flat tops, a whole bunch of things, but she was definitely bald in one stage. In her autobiography called I'll Never Write My Memoirs, she admits that shaving her hair not only helped her get ahead in the music world, it helped her get satisfaction elsewhere. In her own words, in her book, I'll Never Write My Memoirs, shaving my head led directly to my first orgasm. Beat that.
How did I know there was going to be something sexy about it?
Grace Jones. She humped Dolph Lundgren into English. She found the Swedish lunkhead. You're a genius. I get it. You're Swedish. She humped him English. Grace Jones.
She piked the pike.
I mean, imagine her. She goes, Dolph Lundgren, He-Man, you are not enough for me. Bring me my clippers. Zzz. Right? This is what was happening on Pike Island.
Pike Island.
Guaranteed we were there. Don't add us. So just to go again, my famous 80s baldies. I'll tell you what, I'll put Phil Collins in. Bruce Willis, receding, but you know he would have, 10 years later, he's bald. Al Bundy, Mr. T. You gotta have Mr. T.
See, I'm allowing a lot of stuff here, and you're saying Phil Collins is a no?
It's a studio line from L'Oreal. Phil Collins, late entry. Sean Connery, Patrick Stewart, Telly Savalas, a.k.a. Kojak. They cannot be separated.
Yes.
Same person. Sinead O'Connor, Michael Jordan, and Grace Jones with an orgasm shaved head. Shaved. So that is my 80s baldies. That is content. That is working on stuff, Dori. I love it.
That is impressive.
Thank you very much.
Impressive.
Thank you very much. You'll find that list, that 80 Show essay on Facebook, everything we talk about on the show today. You'll find there. Now,
Are you going to create like a graphic of the list?
I will.
Will you, eh?
I will.
Okay.
I will.
All right.
I will create such a graphic.
Uh-huh.
I will chat GPT it. Chat PTP it. So, somebody that I debated putting on the list, because he was very bald in the 80s, but he hid it. He didn't embrace his bald. Elton John. He used to wear the hats.
Yes.
There's an image. Think about Elton John in the 80s. He wasn't shy about it, but he always had the little long things.
Yes.
You know,
And wigs? No, not wigs.
He's definitely got plugs or implants or a hairpiece now, and did get one. In Nikita, the video, he had the little hat.
Yes.
Constant hats. I'm Still Standing had that
Yes.
Wildbird sign hat. So big into the hats.
Right.
Hiding it. Shame. Dori, did you know that in the 80s, Elton John owned a soccer team?
Yes.
There we go. I'll talk about it now. If you didn't know, did you know that in the 80s, Elton John owned a soccer team? What do you know about it, Dori?
I just remember it from my childhood because my dad was both a fan of Elton John and soccer. And I remember this fact from my childhood.
Great cross
I don't know any details. I just remember that was a thing.
Okay, so I'll tell you about this. So,
Yes.
in the football club in question is a team called Watford. Okay. They're in London-ish. They're close to Heathrow. Okay. So the outskirts of London. Never been a particularly glamorous, famous club. Okay. For like nothing really. They were just like kind of nothing. But Elton John came from the area. Okay. He was a fan of the club. So, well, not a fan. He was from the area, and he kind of like when he made good, made his money. He's like, I'm going to buy this club
Because I can.
because I'm friggin' Elton John.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to run it. Well, not run. Yeah, I'm going to run it.
Well,
I'm the rocket
You don't
man.
imagine Elton John as someone who's really into football.
You wouldn't think it, but
No.
he was a fan. Okay, yeah. Now, at this stage, the club, or its home ground is Vicarage Road. It was basically called a corrugated graveyard that was falling to bits, uncovered stands and primeval dressing rooms. But today it stands transformed, thanks to subsequently there have been very rich owners that have bought it. So one of the really genius things Elton John does is he appoints this up-and-coming manager called Graham Taylor. Okay, Graham Taylor then goes on to manage England, becomes quite an iconic English manager, but Elton John, he will forever be linked to Watford because of what he did there under Elton John. Now, if I'd equate, like, Watford is, even in 1980s England, English football, they were in the second division. They won promotion and came up. In their first year, they were challenging to win the title, to win the whole damn thing. You had Liverpool in there, you had Arsenal in there. They were challenging to win, and those are big deals. They were challenging to win the whole thing under the tutelage of Elton John and Graham Taylor. They did not win the league that season, but they finished third. Now they were a nothing club, like really nothing. They were just powered by...
So after Elton took over.
This was after Elton, under his watch.
What did he do?
He was just Elton John.
Yes.
Basically,
was he singing to them to inspire them?
I'd like to imagine. Listen, now football's very glamorous now. Back in the 80s, it wasn't. Okay, English fans were hooligans. They were thugs. They were banned from Europe. They weren't allowed going anywhere. They were just It wasn't this glamour that we see around football now. Soccer players were ugly. Would you see ugly soccer players now? You don't see them. Okay, I'll show you some of these players. Ugly.
But when did Beckham start? That was late 80s, wasn't it?
90s.
Was it only 90s?
Beckham was in the 90s. But that's when soccer became,
Okay.
what we see now.
Yes.
80s, it was like, if I have to tell you, rubbish. Like, nobody liked soccer. It was terrible. They didn't show it on TV. No one, only like local businesses sponsored the teams. It was just no glamour. So for Elton John to be involved, and he was Elton John.
Yeah.
At all was like, wow, that's quite a story.
Yes. Okay. I get it.
But the thing with what he did when he came in is he just treated his footballers like everybody, even reserve team players, no matter who, he treated them like pop stars. He'd often have parties at his house. Invite all these soccer players, their wives, their families, their mothers, come to Elton John's house.
Have cocaine.
No, all the staff from the club, the tea ladies, were at my house, probably have cocaine.
Yes.
Probably have
I'm
cocaine.
beginning to understand why the team suddenly started doing better.
Yes. No drug tests. People loved the time under them. They did not win the title, which would have been, if that had happened, it would have been the craziest story of all time, right? He was a boyhood Watford fan. Like I said, he would always wear their away kit, and he became very associated with their away kit when he was a kid. And they did not win the title. He then had to sell the club up, okay? We have this like high in the 80s. The 90s kind of like falls off. He sold the club at this point. Okay, sells it in 1990 so he could focus on his personal life. That's when he detaches from the club.
Right.
What was happening in his personal life in 1990?
What is
he up to?
Was he perhaps with his partner?
Could have. So
David?
Yeah.
At that stage?
So maybe it was like, yeah, look, I've done this. I need to step back.
Maybe he was touring extra long.
Maybe.
Like he wasn't around.
Yeah, maybe it was. A few years later, he buys back the club because the club just like goes to disrepair again. No, I can't do this. Buys it back. Brings back Graham Taylor, the manager. You don't go back. You don't go back.
Did it not work part two?
No, it didn't work so well. The club is still around, still making money, still a successful club, in and out of the Premier League.
So
every now and
does he
again.
still own it?
He is not involved in the club anymore. He is honorary chairman of the club.
Okay.
He has a stand named after him, the Sir Elton John stand. Okay. Murals of him, great murals all around the stadium. Which is, so one of the murals is, that iconic when he's wearing I think it's the Yankees baseball outfit.
Yes.
That kind of iconic scene. But except he's wearing a Watford kit, which is really fun. And yeah, so he is an honorary chairman, lifelong president. That's the title, lifelong president. And still fondly remembered by Watford for what could have been Elton John and the football club in the 80s. That's what we talk about here on that 80s show.
I think you snuck some football into our show. You are merging your shows.
I'm merging my shows. Of course, if you don't know, plug, this is an award-winning music podcast. I also happen to co-host an award-winning soccer podcast, working title FC. Listen to it.
Yes, I agree.
It's fun.
I'll join the plug.
We're working on a great series, a great spin-off called Goat Farm. Okay.
Goat Farm.
Goat Farm. Because in sport, you got goats, greatest of all time.
Right.
So in Goat Farm, we're going to submit, it's basically like a Hall of Fame. We submit anything.
Okay.
Andre Agassi's going in mine.
Of course.
Also, I couldn't put him in my list. Head is bald. He did. Andre Agassi.
Yes.
He was wearing a hairpiece in the 80s. And he had
as
hair.
we discovered.
Yeah,
yes.
he had hair stitched to his hat.
Yo.
Don't do that.
Why couldn't you put him in the list? Because not a... I mean, you could have.
He was on a draft of the list. Do you think it would be fair to put him in the list? Because he was very known for his hair, but his hair was fake.
We only found out afterwards it was fake, so I don't think it counts.
Couldn't be. He was bald then, though.
Yeah.
So, closet bald. So this week, we don't have specific movie recommendations,
No.
Dori and I. Dori, this is a throw forward. I got a great movie for you next week.
Me too.
You're going to love the actor, the main actor of my movie. Because you're going to know it. Not like my movie last week, Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Which I still haven't watched.
Not a porno. Go back and listen to that. If I may just recap.
Maybe by next week I'll have watched it, and then I can give you my take on it.
Please do that, because I'll recap.
Yes.
There is a global catastrophe. All the men are wiped out.
An apocalypse of sorts.
Apocalyptic event. Most men are wiped out. The ones left are sterile, can't impregnate the woman. Except for one guy. They find him, and now he must go fight frogs, impregnate women. Not a porno.
It really does sound like some teenage kid's fantasy.
Fan fiction.
Like, honestly.
It really does. It's a real movie.
Did Roddy write it?
Roddy
Did he write the
Pop-
part for
no.
himself?
He was just like, I want that. I want to be the forebearer to John Cena.
Right.
Andre the Giant's making movies about princesses. I want to be that guy. So we don't have a movie recommendation this week, but Dori, I got a quiz for you.
Ooh.
A movie quote quiz.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
Some of them I'll give you a clue. Some I'll give you a true or false. Play along wherever you're listening to this podcast in your ears. You can pause, think about it, then answer, see if you're right. It's the 20 best quotes from 1980s movies according to the website Screen Rant.
Cool.
Okay. So I'm going to go through. Some you'll know the movie. Some you'll kick yourself. Oh, I was telling about my movie for next week.
Yes.
You'll know the main actor.
Yes.
You've seen the movie. We've both watched the movie.
Okay.
I loved the movie when I was a kid. You will not believe we haven't covered this movie. It's not a well-known movie.
Okay.
But it's got all the tenets of a well-known movie next week.
I'm so intrigued.
That 80 Show essay. Subscribe now to get it. Right. Your first quote in that big fat 80s movie quote quiz. I'm going to tell you the movie. No, I'm not going to tell you the movie. You need to tell me the movie.
Right.
She gave me a pen. I gave her my heart, and she gave me a pen.
Oh my God, I so know this.
She gave me a pen. I gave her my heart, and she gave me a pen. If I tell you the name of the character that said it, Lloyd Dobler.
Say anything.
There we go. Well done. Ting, 1 point to Dori.
Yes.
I do have a sound effect.
Ah,
Oh, I don't have a ting. No, I don't have a ting. Sorry.
you're tingless.
I'm ting. I left my ting at home. God, I don't leave my brat at home. It's getting hot.
Dude.
It's getting warmer. Next one. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
I'm not bad. I've just drawn that one. Damn it.
Name
I
the
can
movie.
see her.
Name the-
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit
from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's it.
2 out of 20.
Doing better than I thought.
Oh, this one. A few months ago, did an 80s quiz at my daughter's school. I did not win. This was a crucial question, and I deserved to not have won. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
You deserve not to get that point because you'll never watch the great movie that is The Princess Bride.
3 out of 20. This is Dori. Dori is flying through. Maybe it's an easy start. Very easy start. Johnny Castle. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Oh, come on. Really? Dirty dancing.
Not my quiz.
Dirty dancing.
4 out of 20. You know this movie. Maybe you don't know the quote. Be afraid, be very afraid. You know the movie.
Oh, I think I know the quote as well, but I'm trying to think.
Be afraid, be very afraid.
It's so familiar.
Jeff Goldblum said to him.
Said to him. Oh, is it Jurassic Park?
It's The Fly.
Is it The Fly?
It's The Fly.
One of my favorite movies. How did I not get that one?
First one wrong.
And it's like one of my favorites. Oh, I let myself down there.
This one you should know.
Better quote. Just can I interrupt you? Better quote from The Fly. But it's you have to be watching the movie when he starts turning into the fly, and he goes for coffee with Gina Davis, and he's putting piles of sugar in his coffee, and she says something like, "Do you take coffee with your sugar?"
That would have been a better one. You would have known that.
Quote. I would have known.
Because it's more linked to The Fly. Be afraid, be very afraid is like
I mean, that
Candyman.
could have been Poltergeist.
Beetlejuice. 16. Fuck. I just gave it away. That's why they call them crushes. If they were easy, they'd call them something else. It's said by a character called Jim Baker. That's why they call them crushes. If they were easy, they'd call him something else. Talking to his teenage daughter. This is the father.
Well, you did just say 16 candles, so I'm going to guess that it's that, but I don't remember the quote.
It's 16 candles.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you that one because it's going to get too hard to remember. You've only got one wrong so far.
Okay. I'll remember that I've got 2 wrong.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
Can say the very derogatory accent.
Oh, but I try.
Don't tell me you can't remember the movie. Every bro's movie. Every bro.
I know. I'm not a bro.
Every bro
I'm
is
not
going.
a hoe.
Not a
Wait.
hoe. Every bro is going, bro. We got the posters. Tony Montana. The movie. His face. Something with his face. No ways, Dori.
Oh, I'm so...
Scarface.
Oh, yes, of course.
Scarface. Okay, 2 wrong.
Yes.
2 wrong so far. Here's Johnny.
No, can we skip this one?
Here's Johnny.
The Shining.
Thank you very much. We're going through a quiz here. 20 movie quotes. Dori is trying to guess all of them. She got 2 wrong so far. The sweat is literally dropping off. I'm so tense. I'm serious and don't call me Shirley.
Airplane.
Fantastic. Dori's flying through this. This movie's popping up a lot lately. Probably the time of year. Santa says to someone, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. You won't get it. It's weird. It's from A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story.
It's showing up everywhere lately. Don't know.
I don't even know if I've seen that.
I feel the need for speed. The need for speed.
Is it Top Gun?
Thank you. Well done, Dori. Fantastic. Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Okay, I'm going to get this wrong, but it's technically not wrong because it's said in Some Kind of Wonderful, but I know it's not from Some Kind of Wonderful. But she says it.
Dori, I'm going to ignore all of that. Possibly even delete this. Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
What's the character's name?
Richard Vernon.
Oh my God, Breakfast Club.
Oh, delete all that.
I've never kind of made that connection now. That
Really?
It's from Breakfast Club, and then she also says it in Some Kind of Wonderful.
Really?
The one character.
The John Hughes-verse.
My goodness. I'm 2 years old when I put that together.
You can always learn new things on that 80s show. Maybe that's the first time you learned that. Useless piece of trivia. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Dori's killing this movie quotes, wax on, wax off.
Karate Kid.
I mean, this is all over the place. An old lady in a restaurant says, I'll have what she's having.
That would be When Harry Met Sally.
Well done, Doris. You only got 3 wrong so far?
I'm sweating, eh?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tense. It's tense. This is probably one of the most misquoted. This, and I know there's a Terminator one, but I think this one is the most misquoted movie line in history.
Well, it can't be because that's Casablanca, which is not from the 80s.
That's the other one I'm thinking of.
Yes.
That's the one. This one's cooler. No, I am your father.
Star Wars.
Did you know that? He doesn't say, Luke, I am your father.
Yes, I do know that.
He says, no, I am your father. Learned
Yes.
that today, kiddies. This is a weird one. I don't even know the movie. I'm going to take it out the quiz. No wire hangers ever. Joan Crawford in Mommy Dearest.
I did see that movie, but I wouldn't remember that.
Biopic of Joan Crawford.
Yeah, no, it's hectic.
No idea, really.
Yeah, it's hectic.
Do
crazy.
you know a movie, A Young Girl Going There, Here? Young blonde-haired little girl.
Would that be Poltergeist?
Well done.
Uh-huh.
If you build it, he will come.
Field of Dreams.
Fantastic. And the final one. Dori is killing this quiz. Only got 3 wrong. I'm too old for this shit. Oh,
That could be a few things. Wait.
No, notoriously it's this one. The cranky old detective, last day in retirement, big case, his mulleted...
Lethal Weapon?
Well done. His mulleted sidekick gets him into shenanigans.
Right.
Lethal Weapon. Well done, Dori. You did really well in that.
Better than I expected.
Yeah, I did really, really well in that. The John Hughes one,
I'm surprised at myself with that. But because I'll always think of Some Kind of Wonderful because I've seen it many more times. It's my favorite.
you got too much knowledge of the John Hughes stuff. Sometimes, knowledge is a curse. Specifically showed. So that is Dori and I not having any movies in our movie recommendation, non-movie recommendation.
You're going to like mine next week as well. It's very different.
Okay.
Something very different.
Well, it's not this week. Unless you're listening in batches, in which case you can't go to the next week. Then it is. Maybe it is. Who knows when you're listening to this? Could be next week. It could be today. Could be tomorrow. While we're talking about Buddy Cop 80s movies, we've spoken about this for a while. I don't see a release date, but we know it is coming. I am nervous about it, though, because the new Coming to America wasn't great.
That's an understatement.
The best scene in the new Coming to America was an extended scene of a original Coming to America scene. Right? So in the new Coming to America, they go back to the original Coming to America and they extend the club scene because now his son
Yes.
And then they show how the son was conceived.
Yes.
So they go and recreate a scene, but then extend it into the apartment.
Yes.
That's the best scene from the new Coming to America. Not great, but Eddie Murphy is set to return as Axel Foley in the next installment of the Beverly Hills Cop series.
Series? No.
Well, the film series.
Film series. Okay.
The film series.
Will Bulky Bartakamus be in the movie?
What is the name in it? Wow.
Bronson Pinchot.
But the character. We even spoke about it a few weeks ago. It was fantastic. Was it Frank? Is it Frank? It's not. Anyway, he is returning in it. He is. Judge Reinhold returning. All the original cast coming back.
People are going to be old.
Very old. Very old.
When's the last time we saw Bronson Pinchot? Like, how do we even know how he looks?
He has popped up lately. He's with cousin Larry Appleton. Yeah, he's popped up. He's dench, Dori. He's dench.
I have seen Larry Appleton in not very recent, but some things.
Yeah, but cousin Larry Appleton is always looked old.
Yes, now he looks old and grey.
Yeah, so now he's always looked old. This is Bronson Pinchot. Now, I don't know how recent this photo is, Dori. I'll show you quickly. But that is Bronson Pinchot more latterly. That does not look like Bronson Pinchot.
No.
But anyway, he's still around. Still looking like that. Looks like a hell of a nice guy. Really cool stuff when you do see him pop up.
We should interview him.
Maybe as PR for the movie. Who knows? So we will not say that he looks old. Mm-hmm. We'll take that back. But Empire, the industry publication, recently released the first look at Murphy's Axel Foley. And producer Jerry Bruckheimer talks about the film. He's involved. He likes blowing shit up.
Yeah.
Anytime Murphy walks on set, you never know what you're going to get. And it's always pretty brilliant. Every day he's there, throws you back to the 80s. The movie titled Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley is expected to bring back several actors from the original movies, along with several new characters. Kevin Bacon joining the scene. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Wow. Now you're talking.
Talking about Gordon-Levitt and the Oscar-nominated actor, Bruckheimer said that the two make for a strong comedic duo. He gets stuck with Axel and they are hysterical. Joseph is such a great straight man for Eddie. Eddie Murphy battled for a long time to make this movie. They always wanted him to come back and make a new Beverly Hills Cop. He kind of resisted for a very long time.
Very long.
He resisted a lot of stuff. Resisted making good movies for a while. And this is a man who thinks Eddie Murphy can do no long. Here is some on-set shot story. There's current Eddie Murphy, Axel Foley wearing a Detroit Lions jacket.
That's current Eddie Murphy.
That's current Eddie. Eddie Murphy doesn't age.
He literally must drink the blood of children.
No, Eddie Murphy has not aged. He recently said that he regrets Raw and Delirious. Doing the jokes. Like, I understand why.
I don't remember it very well. I'd have to rewatch.
Oh, all the things. Name a topic. Like controversial.
Abortion.
No, he actually doesn't do that. Could though. No, he just goes full hog at everything. Remember, this is early 80s. And like he says, I was in my early 20s. I'm the biggest star in the world. I'm trying to make my name.
Yeah.
I'm untouchable, and I spoke like someone who's untouchable. He's like, I'm a grandfather now.
So maybe there's hope for Matt Rife to come back from Natural Selection.
Who is that? I didn't get the reference.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to drag you right out of the 80s right now. He's like a hot new comic.
Okay.
Hot in both senses.
Okay. Is he on Netflix right now?
Yes, so he's got a new special on Netflix, which is awful.
Okay.
And he's getting lots of flack for it because I don't want to get into it too much. But yeah, basically all this other stuff that I've seen has been really funny. And then this special comes out and it's not funny at all and it's highly offensive to many people. I don't mind offensive comedy. I can pretty much handle anything.
Yeah.
I love Doug Stanhope. I can watch anything. It was just dumb and not funny, and he's getting a lot of not good feedback. And he's young. He's very young. He's in his 20s. So maybe there's hope.
The wild thing is that if Eddie Murphy rose up in the world, like I can quote Raw and Delirious. Mm-hmm. Like honestly, I can quote them. And I understand, like, it's all comedy. You know it's wrong. You know you shouldn't laugh at it. But you also understand it is comedy. It's a mirror that we hold up to society.
Yeah.
That, like, it's a commentary, right? A perspective commentary. But if you think about it back in the 80s and Eddie Murphy, like, he would have been killed dead on the spot, cancelled. Just forget it.
Yeah.
With Dave Chappelling you, and he would never have become Donkey. I read something... He said that in that same interview, he said, there are a generation of people that don't know me past Donkey. All they know, and he says, I'm glad.
You mean before Donkey?
They know him from Donkey. They
From
know
Donkey
him.
onwards.
He's the guy. He's Donkey. That's
Yes.
Donkey.
Yeah.
And he says he's glad.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't.
I'm going to have to rewatch those.
Raw and Delirious.
Yeah.
The jumpsuits. My favorite scene from Beverly Hills Cop, when he's walking down the street. And I think there's a Pointer Sister song playing. I think that's the opening song of it. And he walks past two guys wearing his outfit from Raw and Delirious. And he like looks at them and just starts laughing. Great meta moment. Fantastic meta moment. Anyway, new Beverly Hills Cop is coming out on Netflix. What is a bad sign? In 2024.
Do we need to watch the originals? I mean, it's been a long time. I'll rewatch.
The originals are all over the streamers. You can find them everywhere. They're like on multiple.
But obviously
They're
it's a
the best.
continuation if it's going to be the same characters.
Yeah, well, it's Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley.
Yes. So,
So
but you want to rewatch the originals.
Listen, it'll be great. It's great fan service. We're going to watch it. Of course, I love Eddie Murphy, but nothing beats the original. Nothing. Even Beverly Hills Cop 3, when they're just purely cashing in. Purely. Still fantastic. Then watch 48 Hours, another 48 hours. Because basically, Beverly Hills Cop with Nick Nolte.
I don't really like action anymore, but I did enjoy those in their time.
Oh, then you are not going to like this.
Is it Frogtown?
Possibly worse. The acting is a little bit shittier. So, Cobra Kai, we loved it at the time. We're all over Cobra Kai.
Up to a point.
Up to a point. Then it just got
finish.
so self-aware, so ridiculous. The real star of it was the guy who played Johnny. You know, it was really funny. Cobra Kai. They took it from the bully's perspective to go. You know, we were happy at school.
Yeah.
Everything was cool, and this kid starts coming, hitting on our girlfriend, and then karates us. Like, that's bullshit. You know, he'd stay in his lane.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio. So they did Cobra Kai. They did multiple series. The acting was, it's funny when acting's intentionally bad, like how it comes to Frogtown. But when the acting gets, I can't believe some of those young actors still have careers. I haven't seen any of them in anything. So maybe that's presumptuous. Because that acting was so bad. It's like you're on this massive show, you're acting as shit.
Dude, the show got so stupid. I was all in for season 1.
All in.
I started losing it at season 2. By season 3, I couldn't anymore.
So there's still one more season.
I'm done.
There's still one more season. Cobra Kai's coming to end. But Daniel LaRusso's story is not. Ralph Macchio is returning to the big screen.
What?
In the all-new The Karate Kid movie. So they're making a new one. It's all over the place. Cobra Kai, that's finishing, but they're making a Karate Kid movie.
But he doesn't do it anymore, as we discovered.
The next movie will combine generations of big screen entries. Jackie Chan, who came in. Now, this is the law. Like, somebody's got to tie up all the Cobra Kai Karate Kid stuff, because in 2010, there was a reboot of Karate Kid. They weren't doing karate, they're doing kung fu. Will Smith backed it. His son was in it. Do you remember that shit?
Vaguely.
Okay. They didn't do karate, they did kung fu. And Jackie
Kung
Chan.
Fu Panda, right?
No, it was the Karate Kid.
Oh.
But he did kung fu.
Okay.
Don't you know this in 2010?
Yes, but I didn't watch it. I remember it, but I didn't watch it.
Because there was a Karate Kid with Hilary Swank.
Right.
Right?
I haven't watched any of the new ones.
You got to tie the law together. So there was the Will Smith or Jaden Rogers. I don't know what the kid's name is. Jackie Chan was in it, but they did kung fu.
Right.
Will Smith.
I wouldn't know the difference between kung fu and karate. I didn't do any of those.
Okay. Kung fu. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it can be like a Star Wars, Star Trek type of thing called kung fu karate. Like and they fight. I'm not scared of Star Wars and Star Trek, guys. I can do that. Kung Fu, karate. I know one will fucking kick me and one will throw me.
Okay.
I think that's judo. You see, I don't even know. Don't fight me. That's another
Jiu-jitsu?
one. Those are jiu-jitsu's got weapons. I think they all have weapons. I don't know what's going on here, Dori. You're walking me into a path of getting karateed by somebody, or kung fu, or taekwondo,
Or nunchucked.
Nunchucked. Fucking now the ninjas are after me.
You'll never know.
Could be dead. Could be dead already. I could be coming from the afterlife. So they are doing a new Karate Kid. There's a terrible trailer here. Now, speaking about bald, Ralph Macchio has had his hair done. Yes. We know this very, very badly and then really well. Mm-hmm. So they have opened up casting calls for the Karate Kid. Because obviously there's this whole multiverse happening now that Ralph Macchio is then going to join forces with Jackie Chan's character, and they've held open casting calls looking for the kid. There's a worldwide hunt for a young star for a movie coming out in a year. Now, there's two things that have happened here. Either they are so cocky that they can shoot a movie in a year, or they've found the kid, he's training, or she's training, and then they're going to pretend like, oh, this hasn't happened. But that's more likely what has happened.
Or they had a kid and the kid was like, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. And now they're like, shit.
Or the kid Stranger Thinged on them, that when they started, the kid was like 13.
Yeah.
After a summer, kid comes out, got like grandkids and shit, you know, and they're like, oh shit, this kid is like of age, or looks of age. I can't look at the Stranger Things kids. Have you seen them lately?
No, not lately.
So there's a new Stranger Things. Funniest thing I saw, the first teaser poster that comes out of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it's Vecna, who's the bad guy now.
Yes.
Like standing menacingly over them. And the first comment was like, just kill the fucking kids already. I'm done with them. Fuck them. Am I the only one who wants Vecna to win? But those kids, like first Stranger, they're so cute. They're not as COVID, things like that. They're grown-ass adults anymore. Like, what's the girl who plays 11?
Yeah.
Is she engaged to John Bon Jovi's son? They're married? They could be married?
They could be married by now.
She is married to John Bon Jovi's son. And they still want her to play a child. With Supernatural Child. It doesn't work.
Why don't they just write it better that 3 years later?
It's time warps. You can do so much shit. Now, there's speculation that this one doesn't take place in the 80s. There's been a time jump.
Oh, well, that would make more sense then.
It's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
And then think of all the 90s jokes you can make. But there has to be a time jump. There's no way I can believe that this is like chronological.
But Winona will still look young.
Still looks younger. She will still look younger than all of them.
Yeah.
So listen, if you feel like being the next Karate Kid, you can go into karatekidcasting.com. If you're between the ages of 15, 17 years old to play a character, Li Fong. Li Fong is smart, scrappy, and a skilled martial artist. You must speak English, conversational and Mandarin, and any sort of martial arts skills, movement, gymnastics, and or dance experience. You don't need previous acting experience.
But you do need to be Oriental, clearly.
Ralph Macchio, yeah, oh really? They can't say that.
But is it not obvious?
They can't say that. They can't say that. That's discrimination. Maybe that's the mulligan.
Is Li Fong a gender neutral name?
Could be. That's what I'm saying. They went very hard on giving a name.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why was that necessary?
You don't have to give a name. It does not require previous acting experience because you'll be more qualified than Ralph Macchio. You'll fucking don't want to steal his scenes. But you must be available to film from March to June 2024. They're going to edit this film in 6 months. That sounds like a delayed release if you're asking me.
But maybe they just do things faster now, AI and all that.
It could be. AI the kid. AI Li Fong. Yeah. But I want to show you Ralph Macchio. We know he's had hair plugs. Dori, do you think those are beard plugs?
I mean, Are you saying he can't grow a beard?
I'm just saying the casting video, we're going to put this up on that 80 Show SA Facebook page. We're also going to put up the link so that you can perhaps, if you know a child that fits that, perhaps you're a small person of petite features. You could play a child, Shakespeare style. You could audition, but go there to look at Ralph Macchio's beard. That is an implant.
Maybe.
Ralph Macchio is
Maybe he's taking
60
testosterone.
years old. Look at that beard. That is not a 60-year-old man's beard.
No, it should be grayer.
It's not even the color. That should be bristly.
Yeah.
It should be coarser. It should be wiry. And I'm all for it. I get it. That's a beard implant. I'm sorry. I won't believe otherwise. The whole credibility of Cobra Kai and Karate Kid has just been ruined for me.
Over a beard?
Over a beard. Over a beard, Dori. Now, I know we're full of factoids in this episode of That 80 Show. We did the quiz. We're wrapping it up. Dori did very well. I'm going to put the quiz on That 80 Show SA Facebook
I
page.
still can't believe I didn't get Breakfast Club, though.
No, I cannot. I can't believe we haven't melted. It is incredible.
The truth is I'm half melted.
We are recording this. I got to tell you, it is 4:30. No sign of cooling down.
No.
No sign. It's getting hotter.
You could fry an egg on the pavement.
My word. It is very warm. I want to give you 15 factoids you didn't know about MacGyver, the TV show.
Cool.
15 factoids that then have a spin-off into more factoids because the factoids led me down a MacGyver rabbit hole.
Oh, dear.
A place you would have liked to have gone in the 1980s. Richard Dean Anderson. Okay.
How does he look these days?
There
was that one picture of him
his
with a
car
car.
broken down.
With a car.
His car
He
broke.
looked all right.
He did. Looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good. A man who made the brush cut mullet fashionable. You know, my best friend in school had one of those.
Dude, mullets have made such a comeback. Have you noticed?
Everyone's got a mullet. Everyone's got a mullet. Richard Dean Anderson. Factoid number 1. It ran for 7 seasons, 139 episodes.
Only?
As well as 2 movies. 2 movies? We'll find out more about that later. MacGyver the movies. Next factoid here. This I did not know. For 3 years, from 1989 to 1991, the latter years of MacGyver, Cuba Gooding Jr. had a recurring role as Billy Colton. That's him there. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in MacGyver.
Huh.
I don't know that.
No.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember much of a MacGyver, I have to tell you.
I do not remember anyone in MacGyver but MacGyver.
Exactly.
There was a girlfriend. He had a boss.
I don't remember anyone.
I don't remember anybody.
I remember him doing things with matches and a Swiss Army knife. Maybe not even. Maybe a coat hanger.
No.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. One of his co-stars on the show, a guy called Richard Lawson, is actually now the stepfather of R&B superstar. Guess who? His name is Richard. Just take a guess. His name is Richard Lawson. He is now the stepfather of an R&B superstar.
I can't even think of an R&B superstar.
Huge.
Huge.
Like huge.
Male or female?
Female.
Female.
Huge.
R&B superstar.
Like to even say R&B, she's
Tony Braxton.
Oh God, Dori.
Can't think of any.
Beyonce.
Oh.
One of Richard Dean Anderson's co-stars in MacGyver. Again, didn't know there was this guy. He seems to have been family of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, married Beyonce Knowles' mother, Tina Knowles, and is now Beyonce's mother-in-law. Father-in-law. And Richard Dean Anderson now MacGyver-in-law. I'd like a MacGyver-in-law. Hey? Get one of those. Marry up. Ooh, Dori, here is a picture of a shirtless Richard Dean Anderson taking a photo. Look at that.
It's such a cheesy picture.
Look at his shoulders. Lovely. Over the years, there was a lot of speculation on MacGyver's past and also his first name.
Yes. I remember thinking, what was his first name?
What was his first name?
Did they never reveal it? I feel like they did.
They did reveal it.
Yes, I feel like they did.
You had to wait till the final season to find out that his first name...
Dean. No, I'm joking.
Listen here. If you think MacGyver was one of the coolest people, he was cool. He wasn't like macho cool. He was like clever cool, right?
Yeah. Is it Quentin?
Quentin's still got something to it. Angus.
Angus?
Angus MacGyver.
Oh, that would make sense because MacGyver's Scottish sounding.
Angus MacGyver. Now you know.
Huh.
MacGyver in a kilt. Suddenly it gets interesting. Interesting again. Where would he put his Swiss Army knife? You know where.
Never has one little sound meant so much.
I'm just thinking about the mechanics of it. The first ever MacGyver episode aired on ABC on September 29th in 1985. We're close to an anniversary. It became a sleeper hit, and it went out to be the lead-in. Now, this is massive. Monday Night Football on American TV is huge.
Yeah.
Massive. This was the show before that. That's how much confidence they had in it, that they put as the lead into
We had
Monday
it on
Night Football.
Friday nights.
We had it on Friday
On
nights.
SABC something.
We did.
I want to say 3.
3 wasn't around through the whole 80s.
Oh.
Yeah,
Then it was just SABC.
got moved. Of course, Richard Dean Anderson stars in Stargate. He popped up in Stargate just after that. Terrible, terrible show. The MacGyver reboot. There's a factoid about you. Don't care.
No.
It lasted 5 seasons. Didn't deserve it. According to the producers, Richard Dean Anderson got the role of Angus MacGyver because he brought a certain humanity to the role. It's true. Also, he didn't mind wearing glasses in the audition. Cerebral, clever guy. You see, he wasn't the macho guy. That's why he got the role.
I wonder who the other auditioners were.
Oh, imagine. I'm sure we'd look hard enough. They could audition days like Ben Stiller and like Ben Stiller auditioned for everything.
Mr. T.
Mr. T. So there was another female character. She then went on to star in Pet Sematary. I have no idea that there was, again, there's something about another
Who
character.
remembers?
No idea who she is. MacGyver almost never used a handgun because he had an aversion to firearms, didn't like them.
I do remember that.
Was he in Vietnam? Was that his backstory? Everyone in shows then was Vietnam.
Possibly.
I feel they wouldn't have done Vietnam because A-Team was Vietnam. I don't know.
There was a lot of Vietnam in the 80s.
I don't know. Also talks here about like a lot of younger generation, probably people in their 30s, had an introduction to MacGyver, never saw the show, but knew that Patty and Selma from The Simpsons had a crush on Richard Dean Anderson, and MacGyver was their favorite show.
I don't know that. I don't know enough Simpsons. You do.
They had a plan for MacGyver to have a different first name.
Seamus?
Stacy.
What?
Stacy MacGyver.
That's terrible. I mean, Angus is bad, but that's worse.
I'm like, guys, bury the whole thing. MacGyver.
Quentin
Guyver.
Quentin MacGyver.
Stacy and Angus. I'd rather go with Angus. More of a story.
Harry
MacGyver.
Tom.
Gary MacGyver.
Bull.
Gary MacGyver.
Jerry
MacGyver. I like that.
Jerry's better than Gary.
Better than Gary. Jerry MacGyver.
It sounds a bit like Jerry Maguire.
Can't even work.
Cuba Gooding Jr. link.
Oh, it all wraps up in a neat little package, Dori. And the final factoid, the very last episode of MacGyver was aired in 1992, but that is not the end of the franchise because there were 2 MacGyver movies, made for TV movies. The one was called MacGyver Lost Treasures. The Lost Treasure of Atlantis.
I might have watched it, maybe.
MacGyver and his former college professor are first hunting some artifacts attributed to Xenon, an ancient scientist from Atlantis, and later the lost city of Atlantis itself. It was released in 1994, which I feel is a long time away from...
But chances are we didn't get it here.
No, we would never have got it. We've never seen it, Dori.
Yeah.
We've never seen that MacGyver.
Huh.
Yeah. And then the other one was called Trail to Doomsday.
Are they on YouTube?
I did not look, but I assume they would be.
Because then I know what I'm watching tonight.
Trail to Doomsday, MacGyver movies. Now
I'll
listen,
do the Atlantis one.
Don't expect... I mean, they were basically extended episodes of MacGyver.
I know.
Made for
I feel
TV.
like it's dated and I wouldn't enjoy it as much anymore. I'm scared to go back there.
And I feel you'd look through all his kind of like little inventions and go, oh, that's so cheesy. But you know what? Listen, he left a lasting MacLegacy.
McPression.
Because MacGyver is the only 80s TV show that's become a verb.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
true, hey?
Oh, you MacGyver something. You
Yeah.
MacGyvered it. Look at this MacGyver over here. It's a noun. People won't even know. Well, MacGyver, he's just a guy. He's a guy from ancient law. Who built stuff? What other 80s TV show has left a lasting impression? Has become a verb?
Will Bundy this?
You don't Bundy it. You don't Bundy it.
You don't Bundy it?
People say the A-team all the time, but that's not really the A-team.
You don't Michael Knight it?
No. Like when someone's a helicopter parent, you don't say, look at old Airwolf, or he's airwolfing them. So, that's it. He MacGyvered it. I wish we MacGyvered the aircon.
Yo.
Because this has been a labor of love show. We got to tell you, it's very warm in here. And now the sun is right on Dori. It's actually, it's encroaching on her.
I'm going to start burning up.
Like a slime.
smoking.
This has been That 80s Show. Thank you for joining us. Everything we spoke about today can be found That 80s Show SA on Facebook page. Huh?
Huh?
You know what I said.
I know what you mean. I know what you say, but I know
It's
what
on
you mean.
Facebook. Go to hell. Thanks for joining me, Dori. Goodbye.